is it with you, walking around thinking you're better than everybody else?
You are the commander-in-chief, you know, some DJ in Vegas.
All right, I get it, you don't like my movies.
I've never seen your movies.
The universe keeps telling me I look cool with a gun in my hand.
A toy gun.
The latest for Heads of State reveals that the film has achieved an impressive global streaming milestone, pulling in 75 million views and ranking as the fourth most watched original movie on its platform worldwide. This strong performance underscores how the combination of high-profile stars and a streaming release strategy can pay off big time for major studios. It's a marker of how audience behavior is shifting as big tentpole films no longer necessarily need a traditional theatrical rollout to score major viewership numbers. In the realm of cast and crew, the film continues to generate buzz thanks to its leading duo. John Cena steps into the role of you. President Will Derringer, a former Hollywood action star turned commander-in-chief, while Idris Elba plays Sam Clarke, the British Prime Minister whose public image is taking hits in his home country. Their on-screen chemistry and contrasting personas, one brash and charismatic, the other reserved and battle-hardened, were deliberately positioned to evoke the buddy movie dynamic of the 1980s and 90 set. Behind the camera, director Ilya Naishuller brings a kinetic style, and the screenplay team of Josh Applebaum, Anter Nemec, and Harrison Query support the film's mixture of geopolitical stakes, action spectacle, and humor. Another significant update revolves around the film's streaming first-release approach. Rather than going the typical wide theatrical route, the film premiered directly on a major streaming service, demonstrating how studios are increasingly treating streaming as a viable first platform for large-scale productions. Industry observers have pointed out that this release model speaks to changing economics of film distribution, where immediate access and global audience reach can, in some cases, trump box office receipts. One review noted that the decision to skip or limit theatrical exposure speaks volumes about the state of play in the film industry. This pivot may influence how future high-budget action comedies are launched and consumed. On the critical front, the film's reception has been solid, though not flawless. Reviewers describe it as fun, fiery, and totally frivolous, highlighting its strengths in entertainment value over deep thematic weight. One piece politely summed it up as stupendously idiotic yet eminently watchable. The chemistry between Cena and Elba is repeatedly cited as a major asset, their interplay and ability to lean into the absurdity of the scenario help the film transcend its narrative thinness. At the same time, some critics note that the geopolitics as pulp entertainment formula meshes better when the tone doesn't pretend to be more serious than it is. While the film may not aim for heavier philosophical reflection, it clearly succeeds at delivering crowd-pleasing action comedy. There are also interesting personal stories tied to the film's promotional rollout. For example, Priyanka Chopra responded enthusiastically when the viewership milestone was announced, acknowledging the global impact and excitement around the film. Separately, ahead of its release, one of the lead cast's families in India hosted a special exclusive screening, and the actress shared her mixed feelings of excitement and mild FOMO at missing the event with them. These tidbits highlight how international star power and personal brand narratives are now deeply entwined with how major films are marketed and received globally. More broadly, critics and industry watchers have noted that Heads of State stands out among recent streaming releases for how unabashedly it embraces popcorn spectacle, rather than prestige tone. In a media landscape crowded with serious, often heavy-handed narratives, its release serves as a reminder that there is still a strong appetite for big screen-style escapism delivered directly into living rooms. One article even called it the new Prime Video Buddy comedy streaming on Prime Video now. and you'd be a fool to miss this explosive riot. The fact that a film with a relatively modest critical score can still make such a significant streaming impact invites reflection on how platforms and consumers define success. In terms of genre and tone, the film is described as a throwback to classic buddy action movies, but filtered through the lens of modern geopolitics and streaming economics. The pairing of a U.S. president and a U.K. Prime Minister initially at odds, forced into cooperation by a global threat, is a familiar trope, yet the film leverages it in service of big-budget thrills, humor, and charismatic leads. Observers point out that while the plot may be paint by numbers, the execution and star power are what elevate the experience. The clash of personalities, physical stakes, and the backdrop of international diplomatic tension give the film its underlying energy. For fans and viewers in Pakistan and other international markets, Heads of State demonstrates the growing importance of global release strategies and casting that transcends domestic boundaries. The presence of a globally recognized star from India alongside Western leads signals how the film is designed for a truly global audience. The streaming release removes many regional barriers, meaning that viewership in markets like South Asia can contribute significantly to the overall performance. For your audience, this means the film isn't just a Western product. It's very much marketed and consumed with a worldwide lens. Looking ahead, the success of this film may influence how studios approach action comedy blockbusters in the streaming era. The performance numbers, coupled with the positive audience responses, may encourage more investment in big-budget original films that bypass or minimize theatrical exposure. For creators and YouTube commentators, this shift is worth tracking. How will the next generation of global streaming blockbusters look? Will we see more films with international casting, broader release windows, and direct-to-stream strategy? Heads of State is arguably a case study in that transformation. In closing, while Heads of State may not be aiming for award season glory or deep philosophical weight, it has achieved what it sets out to: deliver high-stakes action, comedic banter, international intrigue, and big-screen spectacle straight into the home. The headlines tell a story of streaming dominance, star-driven brand power, globe-spanning release strategy, and an audience that's clearly hungry for accessible, fun entertainment. As we track the film's continued performance, including potential sequel talks or ancillary release platforms, stay tuned because in the evolving world of streaming cinema, this film is more than just a summer diversion. It's a signal of things to come.